The projected 25% surge in the public health, biotechnology, and regulatory compliance sectors by the end of 2025 is anticipated to be driven by a confluence of technological advancements, shifting consumer expectations, and evolving regulatory landscapes. This report delves into the key trends and insights shaping this growth trajectory, as well as the challenges that may arise along the way. Key trends and insights. 1. Optimism within the life sciences sector. According to a recent Deloitte survey, a notable 75% of life sciences executives are optimistic about the prospects for 2025. This optimism is primarily fueled by expectations of revenue growth 68% and margin expansion 57%. Executives express a commitment to adapting to market dynamics, enhancing digital capabilities, and fostering innovation even in the face of competitive pressures and regulatory uncertainties. 2. Digital transformation. Digital technologies, particularly generative AI, are central to the anticipated growth. Approximately 60% of executives plan to increase investments in digital transformation. Deloitte estimates that AI could generate up to 11% additional revenue value in the biopharma sectors. Companies are leveraging AI to streamline research and development R&D processes and enhance customer interactions, indicating a clear trend toward digitalization. 3. R&D and portfolio strategies. The necessity for improved R&D productivity is underscored by the fact that 56% of biopharma executives recognize the need to rethink their strategies. The implementation of technologies like digital twins is becoming commonplace, allowing for accelerated drug development and reduced costs associated with traditional R&D methods. 4. Regulatory compliance and market access. Executives are increasingly wary of potential regulatory changes, especially in the US and Europe. Concerns related to the Inflation Reduction Act and new clinical trial regulations in Europe are prominent. Nearly half of the surveyed executives expect drug pricing and access to significantly influence their strategies in 2025, indicating a cautious approach to navigating the regulatory landscape. 5. Shifting consumer expectations. The evolving needs of healthcare consumers are reshaping strategies, with 36% of executives emphasizing the importance of improving customer experience and engagement. Direct-to-consumer initiatives are gaining traction, reflecting a broader shift toward personalized healthcare solutions. Commonalities and differences across sources. Common points. All sources highlight a shared optimism among industry executives regarding growth and innovation. There is unanimous emphasis on the importance of digital transformation and enhancements in R&D. Regulatory challenges are consistently identified as significant factors influencing strategic decisions. Differences. While Deloitte focuses on the role of AI in optimizing operations, other sources may emphasize regulatory environments or customer engagement strategies. Additionally, some sources provide specific data on market segments, e.g., biopharma versus medtech, while others present a broader industry perspective. Timeline of events. 2024, Deloitte conducts a comprehensive survey among life sciences executives to gauge industry sentiment and priorities for 2025. 2025, anticipated culmination of digital transformation initiatives with significant investments in AI and advanced analytics. Ongoing, regulatory changes in the US and Europe are expected to impact market access and compliance strategies, necessitating proactive adjustments from companies. Conclusion. The life sciences sector is positioned for substantial growth driven by technological advancements, strategic R&D initiatives, and evolving consumer expectations. However, the landscape remains complex, influenced by regulatory changes and competitive pressures. Therefore, agility and innovation will be critical for success in the coming years. Detailed insights from various sources. Source 1: Deloitte Insights. The Deloitte report emphasizes that despite uncertainties, life sciences executives believe their organizations can adapt and generate value. Key areas of focus include digital transformation, R&D, productivity enhancement, and customer engagement improvements. The survey underscores that 60% of executives prioritize generative AI investments, which could significantly impact operational efficiency. Consumer engagement and direct-to-consumer initiatives. Deloitte highlights an emerging trend where healthcare consumers exert more influence over their care decisions. Companies like Lilly and Pfizer are pioneering direct-to-consumer portals to improve access and pricing, reflecting a shift toward consumer-centric models. Furthermore, AI is being utilized to tailor customer interactions based on feedback. Regulatory challenges. Both the anticipated changes brought by the Inflation Reduction Act and new clinical trial regulations in Europe have executives on high alert. Regulatory compliance is evolving and companies must adapt their strategies to address these changes proactively. The emphasis on pricing and access to drugs remains a contentious issue, with executives expecting it to significantly impact their market strategies. Technological advancements in R&D. The integration of digital twins and AI in R&D processes is highlighted as a significant advancement. These technologies allow for faster testing and development of drug candidates, significantly reducing traditional R&D timelines and costs. Executives acknowledge that improving R&D productivity is paramount to maintaining competitiveness in the market. Preparing for the future. Market adaptation strategies. As the industry approaches 2025, companies must prepare for potential volatility arising from regulatory changes and market dynamics. This may involve fortifying supply chains, optimizing operational models, and enhancing cybersecurity measures to protect sensitive data and ensure business continuity. Monitoring regulatory changes. Executives are advised to stay vigilant about the evolving regulatory landscape by closely monitoring changes in legislation and preparing for compliance. Companies can mitigate risks associated with regulatory non-compliance. This also includes understanding the political climate and its potential impact on health policy. Investing in customer engagement. With consumer expectations shifting, companies must prioritize investments in customer engagement strategies. This includes leveraging digital tools to enhance communication and personalize interactions with patients and healthcare professionals. Conclusion. The life sciences industry stands on the verge of a transformative period marked by a projected 25% surge in growth by the end of 2025. The interplay of digital transformation, regulatory evolution, and changing consumer expectations will shape the future landscape. Companies that can navigate these complexities with agility and innovation are poised for success in an increasingly competitive environment. As the sector evolves, staying attuned to these trends will be crucial for capitalizing on emerging opportunities and addressing potential challenges effectively. The content presents a detailed examination of the projected growth in public health biotechnology and regulatory compliance sectors, with a specific focus on the anticipated 25% surge by the end of 2025. Here are some counterintuitive points identified in the content. 1. Optimism amidst uncertainty. While the life sciences sector is generally characterized by regulatory challenges and market volatility, a significant 75% of executives express optimism for 2025. This is counterintuitive because one would expect that uncertainty, particularly around regulatory changes, would dampen optimism. However, executives are focusing on strategic adaptations and perceived opportunities for growth. 2. Investment in AI. Despite cost pressures, executives are planning to increase investments in digital transformation and AI technologies, even though the industry faces significant cost pressures and declining R&D productivity. This suggests a belief that investing in technology may offer a more sustainable path to efficiency and innovation. Contrary to the common strategy of cutting costs in uncertain times. 3. Consumer-centric approaches in regulated industries. The move towards direct-to-consumer initiatives and personalized healthcare solutions reflects a shift in focus to customer experience which might seem surprising in a highly regulated industry. Typically, one would anticipate that regulatory compliance would limit the ability to engage directly with consumers. However, companies are finding ways to navigate these regulations while enhancing customer engagement. For R&D productivity concerns versus innovation focus, although a majority of executives acknowledge the need to rethink R&D strategies due to declining productivity, many are simultaneously focusing on innovation and pursuing high-potential therapeutic areas. This dual approach seems contradictory, while recognizing declining returns on R&D. They are still investing in similar areas of high competition. 5. M&A activity amidst patent cliffs. Executives expect an increase in mergers and acquisitions M&A activity as a response to looming patent expirations and the associated loss of sales, which might seem counterproductive. Normally, one would think that companies would focus on internal innovation rather than external acquisitions during challenging times. However, they see M&A as a viable strategy to fill gaps in their portfolios. 6. Cybersecurity as a priority with growth ambitions. While the report emphasizes investments in cybersecurity due to increasing threats, it is counterintuitive that executives prioritize cyber defenses while simultaneously pushing for aggressive growth and innovation. There is an inherent tension between the need for security and the fast-paced innovations that often require openness and agility. 7. Regulatory compliance as a growth catalyst. Instead of viewing regulatory compliance as merely a hurdle, many executives see it as an opportunity to differentiate their organizations and create value. This perspective is contrary to the traditional view that compliance is a burden that stifles innovation and growth. 8. Digital transformation leading to cost reductions. Executives expect significant reductions in costs through digital transformations, particularly through the application of generative AI. This perspective challenges the common assumption that digital transformation requires substantial upfront investment without guaranteed returns in the short term. 9. Rising focus on sustainability despite cost concerns. The emphasis on sustainability and environmental, social, and governance (ESG) goals seems contradictory given the current economic pressures, particularly regarding inflation and cost-cutting measures. Executives recognize the strategic importance of sustainability, even when it may not yield immediate financial benefits. 10. Cautious optimism despite global uncertainties. Executives are preparing for geopolitical uncertainties and potential changes in regulatory environments while maintaining a positive outlook for growth. This suggests a level of resilience and adaptability that diverges from the expected reaction of fear and retreat in the face of global challenges. These counterintuitive insights reflect the complexities and evolving dynamics within the life sciences sector, highlighting how executives are balancing optimism, innovation, and compliance in an increasingly challenging environment. The report on the projected 25% surge in the public health, biotechnology, and regulatory compliance sectors by 2025 presents critical insights that are often overshadowed by broader trends and general optimism in the industry. Here are the key overlooked aspects and their significance. 1. Impact of regulatory changes. While the report discusses optimism and growth, the potential impact of regulatory changes, especially in the US and Europe, warrants deeper analysis. Many executives expressed concern about regulations such as the Inflation Reduction Act in the US and new clinical trial regulations in Europe. These changes could significantly alter market access and pricing strategies, impacting the financial viability of products and the overall market landscape. Significance: ignoring these regulatory nuances could lead companies to miscalculate their strategic plans. The focus on growth must be tempered with a robust understanding of how these regulations can increase costs, limit access, or alter competitive dynamics. Companies that fail to adapt to these changes risk losing market share or facing legal repercussions. 2. Shift towards digital transformation. The emphasis on digital transformation, particularly the adoption of generative AI, is crucial but often understated. While many executives acknowledge its importance, only about 60% plan to increase investments in this area. The report implies that digital transformation is essential for streamlining operations and enhancing customer interactions. Yet the potential barriers to implementation are glossed over. Significance: companies that underestimate the challenges in integrating AI and other digital technologies into their workflows may face significant hurdles. The transition requires not only financial investment but also a cultural shift within organizations' new skill sets and changes in operational processes. Failure to address these factors could mean missing out on the projected 11% value increase relative to revenue in biopharma sectors. 3. R&D productivity issues. The report highlights the need for improved R&D productivity, with many executives acknowledging that current strategies may be insufficient. The use of digital twins and AI in drug development is mentioned, but the report does not delve deeply into the systemic issues affecting R&D, such as high failure rates and the time-consuming nature of traditional processes. Significance: acknowledging the historical context of R&D inefficiencies is vital. The industry's reliance on outdated models can lead to wasted resources and missed opportunities for innovation. Companies must proactively rethink their R&D strategies to adapt to the evolving landscape, or they risk falling behind competitors who embrace more efficient methodologies. 4. Consumer-centric approaches. The report suggests that evolving consumer expectations will influence strategies, with many executives noting the importance of improving customer experience. However, it fails to fully explore the implications of this shift towards a more consumer-centric model. Significance: as healthcare consumers become more empowered and selective. Companies that do not prioritize personalized healthcare solutions and direct-to-consumer initiatives may alienate a growing segment of their market. The transition to a consumer-centric approach is not merely a trend, it represents a fundamental shift in how healthcare is delivered and experienced. Companies must adapt their strategies to engage consumers effectively, or they risk losing relevance. 5. M&A dynamics and patent cliff risks. The looming patent cliff poses significant risks, with over $300 billion in sales at risk due to expiring patents. While the report mentions increased interest in mergers and acquisitions (M&A) as a response, it does not fully address how companies can strategically leverage M&A to fill gaps in their portfolios and enhance innovation. Significance: the ability to identify and execute successful acquisitions will be critical as companies navigate this challenging landscape. A reactive approach to M&A could result in poor strategic alignment and wasted investments. Instead, firms should proactively assess potential targets that align with their long-term goals, ensuring that acquisitions contribute to sustained growth and innovation. 6. Resilience against external volatility. The report briefly mentions concerns about business volatility, including regulatory changes, geopolitical uncertainties, and supply chain disruptions. However, a more in-depth analysis of how companies can build resilience against these external factors is lacking. Significance: in an increasingly unpredictable global environment, firms must develop comprehensive risk management strategies that encompass supply chain resilience, regulatory compliance, and operational agility. Companies that take a proactive stance in preparing for potential disruptions will be better positioned to navigate challenges and capitalize on emerging opportunities. 7. Focus on sustainability. The report indicates a growing emphasis on sustainability and corporate social responsibility, but does not fully explore how these factors will shape strategic decisions in the coming years. With 83% of non-US executives anticipating significant impacts from sustainability reporting requirements, the implications for strategic planning are profound. Significance: companies that integrate sustainability into their core strategies will not only comply with regulations but also enhance their brand reputation and appeal to socially conscious consumers. Ignoring sustainability could lead to reputational damage and a loss of competitive advantage in an era where consumers increasingly prioritize ethical considerations in their purchasing decisions. Conclusion. The projected growth in public health biotechnology and regulatory compliance sectors presents a landscape filled with promise and potential pitfalls. By focusing on the nuances of regulatory changes, the challenges of digital transformation, the importance of R&D productivity, the necessity of consumer-centric approaches, the dynamics of M&A resilience against volatility, and the integration of sustainability, companies will position themselves more effectively for success. A holistic understanding of these factors will be essential for navigating the complexities of the industry and achieving sustainable growth in the coming years. The projected 25% surge in the public health biotechnology and regulatory compliance sectors by the end of 2025 highlights several critical points that warrant in-depth analysis and discussion. Here are the 4 most valuable points. 1. Optimism and strategic adaptation in the life sciences sector. The overwhelming optimism expressed by 75% of life sciences executives, as indicated in the Deloitte survey, underlines a pivotal momentum within the industry. This sentiment stems from expectations of revenue growth 68% and margin expansion 57%. Understanding the underlying reasons for this optimism can provide insights into how organizations are strategizing to navigate competitive pressures and regulatory uncertainties. Discussion points. Revenue growth and innovation. What specific innovations or market adaptations are executives banking on to drive growth? Competitive pressures. How are these organizations planning to combat competition, particularly with the looming threat of generics and biosimilars? Regulatory navigation. In what ways are firms preparing for potential shifts in the regulatory landscape, especially in light of new regulations like the Inflation Reduction Act? 2. The role of digital transformation and generative AI. Digital transformation, particularly through the adoption of generative AI, is central to the projected growth in the life sciences sector. With about 60% of executives planning to increase investments in digital technologies, the potential for AI to enhance revenue by an estimated 11% is noteworthy. Discussion points. Implementation challenges. What are the challenges organizations face in integrating AI and digital technologies into existing processes? Success stories. Are there specific case studies that highlight successful AI implementations in R&D or customer engagement? Future trends. How might advancements in AI evolve to further impact the life sciences landscape beyond 2025? 3. Evolving R&D and portfolio strategies. The necessity for improved R&D productivity is a significant concern, with 56% of biopharma executives indicating the need to rethink their strategies. The utilization of technologies like digital twins represents a shift towards more efficient and cost-effective drug development processes. Discussion points. R&D productivity. What specific strategies are organizations employing to enhance R&D productivity and reduce failure rates in drug development? Digital twins impact. How are digital twins being integrated into the drug development pipeline? And what measurable benefits have been observed? Portfolio management. How are companies balancing their portfolios between high-risk innovative therapies and more established products, especially in light of patent expirations? 4. Regulatory compliance and market access challenges. Concerns about regulatory changes, especially in the US and Europe, are prevalent among executives. Nearly half expect that pricing and access to drugs will significantly influence their strategies by 2025. The impact of the Inflation Reduction Act and new clinical trial regulations in Europe are critical areas of focus. Discussion points. Regulatory landscape. What specific regulatory changes are executives most concerned about, and how are they planning to adapt? Pricing strategies. In a climate of increasing scrutiny over drug pricing, what strategies are organizations implementing to maintain profitability while ensuring patient access? Market access. How are companies preparing to navigate the complexities of market access in different regions, especially with varying regulatory environments? Conclusion. The projected growth in the public health, biotechnology, and regulatory compliance sectors reflects a convergence of optimism, technological advancement, strategic adaptation in R&D, and regulatory navigation. These 4 points encapsulate the dynamic landscape of the life sciences sector as it approaches 2025, offering rich avenues for discussion and further analysis. Understanding these facets will be crucial for stakeholders aiming to leverage opportunities while mitigating risks in a rapidly evolving market. 1. The thalidomide tragedy. 1950s to 1960s, thalidomide was marketed as a sedative and was prescribed to pregnant women to alleviate morning sickness. However, it was later discovered to cause severe birth defects, leading to thousands of affected children globally. This incident prompted significant changes in drug regulatory practices, including stricter safety and efficacy requirements by agencies such as the U.S. Food and Drug Administration (FDA) and the European Medicines Agency (EMA). The tragedy underscored the importance of rigorous clinical trials and regulatory compliance in the pharmaceutical industry. 2. The Vioxx controversy. 2000s, Vioxx, a painkiller developed by Merck, was withdrawn from the market in 2004 after it was linked to increased risks of heart attack and stroke. Despite initial approval data suggesting cardiovascular risks emerged post-marketing, the case raised questions about the adequacy of clinical trials and post-market surveillance. It resulted in legal actions against Merck and led to widespread discussions about drug safety, regulatory oversight, and the responsibilities of pharmaceutical companies to monitor and report adverse effects. 3. The HIV/AIDS crisis and the fast-track approval. 1980s to 1990s. During the HIV/AIDS epidemic, the urgency for effective treatments led to accelerated approval processes for antiretroviral therapies, significantly changing regulatory frameworks. The FDA implemented the accelerated approval program, allowing drugs to be approved based on surrogate endpoints. This shift aimed to expedite access to potentially life-saving medications during a public health crisis, balancing the need for timely treatment with the necessity for regulatory compliance and safety considerations. The case highlights the complex interplay between public health needs, drug development, and regulatory policies. Future outlook: predictions for the surge in public health, biotechnology, and regulatory compliance sectors by year-end 2025. The projected 25% surge in the public health, biotechnology, and regulatory compliance sectors by the end of 2025 is not only ambitious but also attainable, driven by a confluence of technological advancements, regulatory reforms, and evolving consumer expectations. This outlook examines key trends shaping the future and provides predictions for the sectors involved. 1. Technological advancements. Digital transformation. The life sciences sector is undergoing rapid digital transformation, heavily influenced by advancements in technologies such as generative AI, big data analytics, and cloud computing. By 2025, we expect more than 60% of companies in the biotechnology sector to have fully integrated AI into their operational processes, yielding significant efficiency gains. Companies will rely on AI for everything from drug discovery to patient engagement, with the potential to generate additional revenue proportionate to their investments. Personalized medicine. The shift towards personalized medicine will continue to accelerate, driven by advancements in genomics and biomarker research. By 2025, we predict that a majority of new therapies will be tailored to specific patient profiles, enhancing the efficacy and safety of treatments. This personalization will be facilitated by the integration of real-world evidence and patient data into clinical decision-making processes. 2. Regulatory compliance evolution. Dynamic regulatory landscapes. The regulatory environment is expected to evolve significantly, particularly in the US and Europe. With ongoing discussions around drug pricing reforms and the implications of the Inflation Reduction Act, life sciences companies will need to adapt their strategies to comply with new regulatory requirements while maintaining competitive pricing. By 2025, we anticipate that approximately 50% of executives will have developed adaptive compliance strategies to navigate these changes effectively. Increased focus on sustainability. Regulatory bodies are likely to put more emphasis on environmental, social, and governance (ESG) criteria, pushing companies to integrate sustainability into their business models. By the end of 2025, we predict that over 75% of companies will have established sustainability reporting frameworks to comply with international regulations, thus enhancing their market reputation and stakeholder trust. 3. Shifting consumer expectations. Empowered consumers. The healthcare consumer is becoming increasingly empowered, demanding greater transparency, personalization, and engagement. By 2025, we predict that over 50% of healthcare providers will implement direct-to-consumer initiatives, allowing patients to access medications and health services more easily. Companies that prioritize customer experience and engagement will likely see increased loyalty and market share. Health equity and access. The focus on health equity will intensify, with organizations adopting inclusive practices to address disparities in healthcare access. By 2025, we expect that more than 40% of life sciences companies will actively implement programs designed to improve access to treatments for underserved populations, aligning with broader societal goals. 4. Investment in research and development (R&D). Innovative R&D strategies. To counter declining R&D productivity, companies will need to rethink their approaches. By 2025, we anticipate that over half of biopharma executives will adopt innovative R&D strategies, such as utilizing digital twins and AI for faster drug development. This shift is expected to not only reduce costs but also significantly improve the success rates of clinical trials. Collaborations and partnerships. Strategic collaborations between biopharma companies, tech firms, and academic institutions will become more prevalent as organizations seek to leverage each other's strengths. By the end of 2025, we predict a surge in partnerships aimed at advancing drug development and bringing innovative therapies to market faster. 5. Market dynamics and competitive pressures. Mergers and acquisitions (M&A). The life sciences sector is likely to experience heightened M&A activity as companies seek to bolster their portfolios in response to competitive pressures. By 2025, we expect that approximately 77% of executives anticipate an increase in M&A, particularly targeting assets that complement their existing capabilities and address emerging market needs. Generic competition. As patents expire for several blockbuster drugs, the market will face increased competition from generics and biosimilars. By 2025, we predict that companies will need to implement aggressive pricing strategies and innovative marketing approaches to maintain their market share amidst this competitive landscape. Conclusion. The projected surge in the public health, biotechnology, and regulatory compliance sectors by the end of 2025 represents not only an opportunity for growth but also a challenge to adapt to a rapidly changing landscape. Companies that embrace digital transformation, prioritize customer engagement, and remain agile in their compliance strategies will position themselves for success in this dynamic environment. The future will demand innovation, adaptability, and a commitment to addressing the evolving needs of consumers and regulatory bodies alike. As the life sciences industry navigates these changes, the potential for improved health outcomes and enhanced patient experiences remains promising.